A tangent is a line that touches the circle. So I always think of tangent starts with a T. If I draw a point anywhere outside of this circle, so I'm going to put it right here, and I draw a tangent to go like to the left of the circle and to the right. Tangent, think of tangent starts with a T and it means touching at one exact point. So I'm going to draw the point here, and here it touches at this point. And then I'm going to draw another one over here. Which one I can draw? And it touches at this point. You cannot draw two tangents coming from the same point unless this distance here is equal to that distance there. I call it the clown's hat. The clown hat is even most of the time, right? So whatever the left side is, the right side is. And that's, you can't draw it any other way. So if they give you that point, if they give you that this x is equal to 6, then this has to be equal to 6. So a tangent kind of skirts by the circle and only hits it at one exact point. You draw your circle and you draw a radius anywhere on the circle. Okay, that's the radius. It goes from the center of the circle to the edge, right? And this one you're going to draw on your formula sheet too, because this is a rule that you don't have on the formula sheet. If I have a tangent coming off of that circle, it can only be drawn where it makes a right angle with the circle. So you know you have a right triangle. So if you have a tangent and a radius hitting each other, then it makes a right triangle. Do you guys see any clown's hats there? I do.
Yes, I do. F.
Not F. F is a point. G. What are the two sides of the clown hats?
G and E.
Oh, we're on the one.
G and E.
Not G E.
C and U. C and E. C and
G.
G F and F E. Look at those two sides. That's the sides of the clown hat. You see it right here? G F and EF. Those are the clown hats. It's outside the circle and it makes a little point, right?
True.
So what's the rule? What do we know GF measures? The same. We don't know what that is. It's the same as the other side. What does the other side measure?
19.
I don't see a 19 there. I see an X. Okay, we'll deal with that in a minute. So it measures X. Now what kind of a shape is this?
Right.
Why do you know it's a square and not a rectangle? Well, a rectangle has all 90-degree angles.
No, it's a square because they're all equal.
We know that all the radius are going to be 19 because CE is a radius and CG is a radius. So that's going to be 19. So we know X equals 19. Let's go on to number 2. Number 2 has a J here, a center here. It has a tangent right here, and that's 20. And that's 15, and they want us to find this side right here. Well, what kind of a triangle does that create if it's a tangent hitting a radius? A right one. So I know that's a right triangle. How do I find the other side of a right triangle? A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So it's 15 squared plus 20 squared equals C squared. 225 plus 400 equals C squared. 625 equals C squared. C equals 25. So we just found that. That's number 2. All right, the next one is a classic. This is an easy question. What do we have? Which rule? Which rule? The clown hat rule.
The Patrick.
It looks like the Jack in the Box guy.
Yeah, that's why I call it a clown hat. So if this is 12, what is the other side?
12.
X equals 12. That was an easy one. There are no clown hats here because there's not two tangents. You see up here how it has to hit the outside of the circle like a clown hat? Here they don't. This one hits the outside of the circle, but the other one goes inside the circle. So you don't have a clown hat. That's actually called a secant, which we're going to learn about tomorrow. So I have a triangle here. And if I draw this line from here to here, how much does that measure? Right there. How much does that measure? So RT is 30 because it's a radius. Always look for distances between the center and the edge of the circle are the same. So if R to here, if this is 30, then this is 30. So now we have a right triangle that looks like this, and it's 40, 30, and let's find this one. Let's find C. And we're going to find that C is 50 because 30 squared plus 40 squared equals C squared, and you're going to see that it's 50, okay? So go ahead and do that. Make sure you can get a 50 on the C, on the big triangle. So if this side here is all 50, and this piece is 30 from here to here, how much is X?
20.
X is 20. So here we have a triangle, and it's a radius hitting a tangent, so we know it forms a what? A 90-degree angle. It's not pictured in number 5. If you look at number 5, that little square isn't there. But you know that because that's the rule. If you've got a radius hitting a tangent, it forms a 90-degree angle. There's no other way to draw it, okay? So I know what? I know that YA, how much does that measure? How much does YA measure? 21. Because that's another radius. Anytime you see a radius. So now we have a right triangle, and you can pull it out like this, and this is 21. How much is the hypotenuse? 29. And they want to know what X is, which is down here. What do? So 21 squared plus X squared equals 29 squared. X squared equals 29 squared minus 21 squared. So X equals 20. So we know that the right angles happen at the radius hitting the tangent. So we have a right triangle. We know this piece here is 5 because it's the radius. So that whole hypotenuse is 13. We draw the right triangle below, and we find the missing side is 12.